Maybe I'm about 140, 145. Not too big. I was 135 a little while ago. That was extreme.
Why'd you eat a steak?
No.
Why'd you eat a steak or something?
Yeah. Well, that's when I was walking my dog like 8 miles a day. Now we're down to 5. So I feel a little better.
No, go on that side. There's less room there now. There you go. See, perfect. Just your size.
My tax dollars to pay for more children.
He was at the hospital.
There's already been one outside of our house. That's true.
Daddy's still out there.
Yeah, he's still having a good chair. You want a butterscotch? For a whole row back.
We're men of action, Wes.
Stand still. Thank you.
What happens is good. I can't stand
Welcome to the Upper Frederick Township Board of Supervisors regular monthly meeting, January 12, 2023. Let's please stand and pledge the flag. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Has everybody had a chance to sign in? All right. Before we move into public comments, Ken, do you want to review
Stand right.
public comment procedures?
Right.
No, don't move that.
Oh, sorry. All right, quick. Don't move that. Okay.
Anyone who is a township resident will have the opportunity to rise, identify themselves, make their public comments. We're not going to set a timer, but we ask that you keep your comments brief as possible. Try to keep it to 3 minutes or less.
The ordinance is 3 minutes.
Okay, keep it to 3 minutes then, which should be sufficient. So, and then avoid also, of course, repetition. People standing up and saying exactly the same thing or something very similar. You could just stand, identify yourself, give your address, and say that you concur with what was previously said. Things like that. Okay.
All right, public comments. Fine. Any public comments? Once, twice. Go ahead. State your name and your address in the community.
Kelly Sanchez, Heinrich Drive, Perkiomen Crossing.
Okay.
15 months, 2 fires, 7 homes impacted. 6 of those homes have families displaced. An entire community shook, living in fear. It's not fun. It's personal to me. I was one of those homes. I would like to officially request this board to reassess the water towers. We were supposed to have them initially for the other half of the neighborhood. So I am officially requesting reassessment for our water tower.
I'll just share with everybody that in response to the first set of fires, we did finally find a consultant who's in the process of studying the water system now, and we are hoping to have their analysis in the next month or 2. And so hopefully that will be the basis for which we can start making some decisions about the water system.
That would be great, because 15 months and now we're on number 2. Who's going to be number 3, and will there be lives lost? That's how we live. It's important. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments?
Sorry, Laura Crooks, Pine Ridge Drive as well. I just had a quick question. You mentioned a study that should be done in the next month or two. I'd like to know if the entire study would be available for all of us to see as well.
Sure, it's a public document, so, yeah, you can just check in with us in a month or two and see if it's available, and then what you'll need to do is just fill out a right to know request. It's just a standard request for
Okay.
documents.
Thank you.
Ma'am?
Austin Doherty, Pine Ridge Drive, Perkiomen Crossing. With regards to what's on the agenda, I'm bring something up. The new business is indicating 1243 Pine Ridge, the house with the fire, to authorize postpone water sewer billing till the house is repaired and approved for occupancy. There's another house, 1241, that's uninhabitable. They are not in their home.
Okay.
They're displaced, so
1241?
1241.
And there's the third house with damage, but they are living there. So I'm asking if consider include them as well.
A couple weeks ago.
Other public comments? One? Okay, end of public comments. Okay, Board of Supervisors, meeting minutes, December 8th, 2022, December 29th, 2022. You have a chance to, yes, I did. All right, I make a motion to approve the December 8th minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I make a motion to approve the December 29th minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Treasurer's report, bills to be paid.
So before you, you have the treasurer's report, which includes a summary of the year ending 2022 and some comparisons to the previous year. Basically, we ended up ahead of where we thought we were, so we had a relatively positive year. A big part of the savings was a road mower that we thought we were going to purchase last year, just came in this week, so that got pushed to 2023, but we can prepare for that.
And I will make a motion to accept the treasurer's report as presented and file for audit. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Sorry, it's fun.
All right, and also at the end of the treasurer's report are the bills to be paid. Those bills total $70,207.55.
I will make a motion to approve payment of the bills totaling $70,207.55 to advance to the treasurer the funds to pay any needed bills or expenditures to save penalties or accrue interest and payroll prior to the Board of Supervisors regular meeting on February 9th, 2023. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Emergency services.
Actually, I think we have someone from Plymouth. Did you guys want to give a report, or you
Yeah,
want me
sure.
to?
For the month of December, Plymouth ambulance responded to 22 calls in the township, 13 at Frederick Living, 296 for the year, and then the overall territory count from Plymouth ambulance with all the townships that we cover was 15,881, which is about 24% of the total call volume that Montgomery County dispatches to the other 19 ambulance organizations. So.
Okay, thank you. Fire company?
And we did 21 calls for the month last year. Of course, we know we had the fire on Pine Ridge. The guys did a really good job of knocking that one down. Also, we got turned down for our grant for air packs. So we're trying to figure out right now, scrambling to figure out how we're gonna purchase some new air packs. So that's what we're working on.
How much was the grant?
Well, the grant was for the air packs, which was just over $100,000.
All right. Water sewer plant?
No violations to report. We did have a oil water advisory for and a repair of pipe, broken pipe. So once they had turned the water off, that section had no advisory. Everything came back negative there for people.
Okay.
A few other things, but everything else is doing good.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions?
No, I'm, okay, good. Public Works.
I think Steve is out sick tonight. So Public Works Department did a lot of swale and ditch maintenance. We had some trees removed on Yost Road and Faust Road. They've been working on winter road maintenance. They did do some work in the schoolhouse next door to kind of weatherize it for the winter. They have been doing the Christmas tree pickup. That's been pretty successful, and their usual water meter readings and work orders.
Environmental Engineers Report.
No report.
Okay. Civil Engineers Report.
Okay, LTL did update the engineer's report for the month and sent that over to Tracy for a copy of that in your booklet. I can answer any questions. There really wasn't a lot of update. There are really two other items and there are other line items on the agenda, so if there's anything that comes up that, move things forward, I could answer any questions that come up at that time.
Okay. All right. Building Inspector and Zoning.
There were 3 permits in the month of December and 19 inspections. I did ask the zoning officer to look into 1847 Perkiomen bill, and I have not received an update from him on that.
Okay.
There was no planning commission meeting in December. Regional planning commission,
No.
no meeting for them. Parks and Rec board, Steve's here.
Steve, anything for the Parks and Rec?
Yeah, the Park Board met on December 20th to discuss a 5-mile trail run that's coming up April for approval. Instead of doing a 5 and 10K, we didn't have a good turnout for the 5 and 10 was a little tough put together, but we had a bigger draw. We decided to split it down the middle, do a 5K, 5-mile trail run this year. I can see it still needs approval.
Okay.
And also, with that project, it's also going to start to kick off the Eagle Scout project, which I can refer Mike Frederick to speak of.
So I want to thank the Board of Supervisors for the preliminary approval of the 3 Eagle Scout projects taking place down at the Township Park. One of them is going to be marking out that trail for the Park and Rec Board. Second project is going to be birdhouses along that trail, and the third project is going to be a bridge type of structure built over one of the smaller swales there for the trail. So I know that you would like to see the scout candidates. I have one here with me this evening, but we'd like to apply for being recognized at the next township meeting, perhaps at the pre-agenda meeting, for the board to review the details of the plan for final approval. But on behalf of the Scouts, I want to thank you for your cooperation.
Thank you.
And our next meeting will be on the January 17th.
Okay, great, thank you. Manager update?
As I mentioned earlier, the water study is still underway. The consultant indicated they hope to have that first draft of the study to us in February. We also had the architect for meeting room expansion, which is clearly needed, did some building analysis, and we're waiting to hear back on that, and then we can start looking at some alternatives.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Will there be a planning committee meeting this month?
I'm not sure yet. So far, I don't have anything for the agenda, but it's still a couple weeks out.
All right, new business. Swearing in of new fire police. All right. Yeah. swearing in. Okay, so I'm gonna read this one and state your name and then I'll continue the process here. So, what's that? You can either pick or you can go together. Okay, all right. I state your name.
I, Jamie Collins, Barbara Landis,
Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and that I will discharge the duties of fire police in Upper Frederick Township, Montgomery County with fidelity.
I will. I will. There you go.
Thank you.
Come on, James.
He did.
That's it, we're done.
He did it, he did it.
Oh, yeah.
Jamie,
Barb. Here, sorry.
Just sign here, by the way.
You have these? I have these guys, but that's not good.
Let me go with paper.
All right.
I'll just have them sign these and then I'll.
Just need you to sign there.
Yep. Let me go next door. real quick.
Oh, look at go.
We're going back out there.
Yeah, okay.
Look at go.
Can we go to the station? Try that.
Oh, yeah,
They're gonna have a little meeting.
okay, sure.
Just look at go.
Okay, thank you. We're good? All right.
Today's the 12th. The 9th. The 9th.
Okay. Next item is acceptance of resignation of William Trey. So I will make a motion to accept the letter of resignation from William Trey effective January 12th, 2023. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Okay.
Can I ask, why the resignation?
Yeah, can you read a letter?
Yeah.
Do you want to read it, Tracy?
He was township supervisor, presumably.
So his resignation says, as of December 31st, 2022, I will no longer be serving the residents of Upper Frederick Township as a supervisor due to high demand in my career. I no longer have the time to perform my duties as township supervisor. It has been a pleasure working with all the different challenges our board and staff has been faced with. It has been a pleasure serving all of Upper Frederick Township residents. God bless all. William Trey.
Okay. Thank you. Letters of interest will be accepted until until 4 p.m. on January 27th. The board will review the applications at the February 2nd workshop meeting and appoint a person at the February 9th meeting. Okay, approval of Swamp Creek Stump 5-mile run.
May I ask a question?
Yeah, okay.
So it says in the rules here, there's 45 days, but we're gonna limit that down to the 27.
Is it 45?
It's 45. You want me to bring this up?
It's not a requirement for 45 days. It's,
I can read it.
Well, the idea is to try to get a full board as soon as possible.
I agree.
They have, the board has to accept, appoint somebody within 30 days.
Right.
So
Once they accept the resignation.
I'm not sure what you're gonna
Yeah.
read from. Happy here if you like, but.
They have,
So in order to
remaining,
appoint somebody within 30
remaining
days.
members of the board of supervisors have 45 days from the date of the vacancy occurs to fill the position, so you have 45 days. So you want letters within, by the 27th for candidates,
Correct.
right?
That's not 45 days.
Thank you. Yeah. So we're just concerned for the timing, we want to make sure that we as constituents have an opportunity to bring the qualification, the qualified applicants before you for your decision.
When was the last meeting Mr. Trey was at? Do we know that?
I believe it was July of 2022.
So why are we waiting till today?
Wow.
Because he resigned as of December 31st.
But if, like Ron said, we want to staff this board immediately, why did we wait 6 months?
He didn't resign until the end of December, so the board.
So from
take
July
action.
till January, we just now figured out that we didn't have time for the position? Is that what we're to believe here?
Can you explain, please?
Yeah, I'm not aware of all the facts, but it's, when a supervisor, first of all, it's somewhat difficult to remove a supervisor from office. You can't just appoint somebody new, and you can't be here in January and
We
think
did.
back in July because he did something different. When he didn't show up at the July meeting, a supervisor can miss, according to the township code, 3 consecutive meetings.
3 months.
You know, so August, September, October. But even at that point, you know, replacing, I don't know what dialogue or conversations there were. I don't know if he said or anticipated coming to the 4th meeting. You know, you sort of have to miss that 4th meeting or giving him an opportunity. And I wasn't party to any of that business. All I'm saying is it is not unusual for the township to wait until a letter of resignation is submitted.
So it's normal that the township
So-
would wait 6 months?
Well, you know, you're discounting the 3-month period. He was not eligible to be replaced until 3 months.
which
But
would
again,
be
it still
August.
has to be action at a public meeting, so it couldn't have been until, again, if you missed July, August, September, October. You know, it would have been the November meeting.
But did we take any action at all? I mean, I know we're friends, we all know each other, I mean, it's no secret. So I'm pretty sure we all knew.
What transpired behind, but what I'm saying is from November to December 23rd, when he issued his resignation, is not what I would consider an inordinate period of time. It's not 6 months, it's maybe 6 weeks.
So may I ask you a question? So it's 45 days from today, because you're officially accepting it today. And then that puts us
No,
out.
I think you're misreading that. They have 45 days to accept. They can accept it on day 1.
Okay.
They don't have to wait 45 days, it's just that they have up to 45
And
days.
then that timeline kind of aligns to, if we take that out, let's just say we go with the 45 days. And we
Well,
take
let's-
that out.
don't go with
And then we
45
go
days.
the 60 days that's in the township supervisors. That means whoever's picked automatically gets on the ballot in May, correct? And the constituents might not even have a say.
That's not accurate.
That's not accurate?
No, it is not.
Okay.
No, I don't think that's accurate.
Okay, I just want to verify, that's my question.